The work is very colorful, it's very exotic, and it's all about spirits of Thailand. Good evening and welcome to Ragtime. My name is Leah Tulleen, and this is the Richmond Art Gallery's chance to show you the shows that are coming up, tell you about what's happening with the gallery, which is a lot just before Christmas. And this is the work of Pat O'Hara, who is a local artist and has come back from Thailand and created some beautiful images. The show begins the 1st of November and it goes right through to December 3rd, just about the time the Richmond Art Gallery moves to Safeway. We'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of the show. It's called, this show is called Spirit House. You can hear an artist talk on November 8th, when Pat will be showing slides of what she saw in Thailand and explaining about our previous exhibits as well as this one. And we've had a chance to find out what inspired the artist and what the show is all about. I think you'll enjoy it. Hi, Pat.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. You have a whole series of paintings, and these are really interesting. They're called Spirit House, and they, I imagine, began with a trip to Thailand. So maybe explain a little bit about your artistic process, what it was you went to Thailand to discover.
Well, I went to Thailand because I knew that it was going to be an exotic place to visit, and I was very interested in the exotic, the golds and the bronzes and all the colors that I've been using before in my paintings, and I've incorporated things from Thailand plus things I was doing before in my paintings. I collected, when I first arrived back, which was last December, near Christmas time, I had no idea what I was going to paint about, and it took me about 6 months before I decided that I was going to do the spirit house idea. I related to the spirit houses in Thailand, but I didn't realize at the time that I was so infatuated with these spirit houses. I was photographing them, but not thinking I'd ever use them in my work. And when I was there, I collected other images, archaeological images, a spiral image, which is an image that's 8,000 years old. I think they were engraved findings on clothing and pottery and all sorts of markings in archaeological findings. And I collected, the temples really interested me, but it was the spirit house and the exotic feeling of these spirit houses. People in Thailand are very superstitious about these spirit houses, and they have them in front of their houses or on a piece of land that if they're going to start a business, they put them on a piece of land, and it brings good luck. And they present food to the spirits, and it's the good spirits they're looking for. The spirit house supposedly scares the bad spirits away and encourages the good spirits. And and they pray in front of the spirit houses. It's not anything to do with Buddhism, but they really regard the spirit house as a very bit of good luck for them, and they encourage all the good spirits they can find.
The spirit houses are designed to bring good luck?
Exactly, yeah. It's nothing to do with their religion, nothing to do with their Buddhist religion.
What would they be made of, and the size?
They're made of all different things, and the architecture doesn't follow any one specific route. It's all, I guess, I was fascinated because a lot of them look Victorian, with the gingerbread sort of look, and most of them are on pedestals, and they're perhaps the size of a birdhouse. Some of them. Others are big enough that you can actually walk into. The smaller ones have people in little figures, wooden figures, pottery figures, and actual furniture and things inside them for the spirits, and just to make them feel happy.
That's very nice. The spiral, what does that indicate? Because you said that was a repetitive image over and over, and you've included the spirals in a really clever way in your paintings too.
Well, the spirals are found everywhere in Thailand. On the reclining Buddha, I think the reclining Buddha is 150 feet long, and on the feet of the reclining Buddha, there's the spiral. I mean, there's so many spiral images that you see in Thailand. And I think most artists come back with that image incorporated in their work in some way.
While you were in Thailand, how many different spirit houses did you run across and photograph?
Well, we did an extensive trip in Thailand. It was a 3-week trip, and I couldn't name a number. I just don't know how many spirit houses I saw, probably thousands, because I had my eye open for them, I guess, and I would notice them, and they were everywhere. Mm-hmm. And they sell them, like going into a parking lot or going into a used car lot or whatever. You buy your spirit house. There were, hundreds of them in areas where you could buy them, but everybody added their own individual personalities or additions, wrappings. They would wrap them. That's another thing. They wrap the ribbons and objects around the spirit houses in order to bring good luck too. And as they wrap cloth around trees or different things, they consider it to be good luck.
So it really is something that affects a lot of people within Thailand.
That's right, yeah. As I say, it's not part of the religion.
All social structures, would it have gone?
Yes, 95% of people in Thailand are Buddhist, but as I say, this has nothing to do with the religion. And it's just the exotic part of Thailand that I really enjoyed. And the temples are certainly more exotic than the spirit houses, but the spirit houses are much more exotic than their houses or anything in their houses.
The colors in Thailand seem to be very bright. Where does that come from? Is it the climate? Is it religious structures? They just use such beautiful colors.
Well, I think the brightest colored costumes, if that's what you want to call it, were in northern Thailand, and the hill tribes people have wonderful colors, and their clothing, belts, costumes, whatever, are the brightest colors you can imagine. And then, of course, there's all the beautiful gold and mosaic in all the temples. That's the most vibrant color you can imagine. So it's not just the costuming, it's the whole feeling of the culture in Thailand is color.
Mm-hmm. And you came back with all your photographs, and what was your process then? Because you didn't paint on the scene, you brought it all back and thought about it.
Well, I did work when I was in Thailand, some work, but it wasn't from photographs. It was just impressions or feelings about color. But actually, I have used a lot of those things I did in Thailand. The spiral image was incorporated in a lot of my drawings that I did there. And I took a lot of photographs, but didn't really, I don't do things from photographs other than, ideas, color, shapes perhaps, but not actual representation.
What do you call your style of painting?
My work is abstract forms. I'm interested in color and textural qualities, and then the form. The form is what I'm in search of form as I'm doing the textural qualities and you usually find the form near the end of your painting, and then it's the exciting part of painting is when you finally reach that. You find that form that you're looking for.
So you're building onto a very large canvas. Have you got a picture in your mind of where you would like to take it, or do you just know it when you see it?
I don't have any preconceived ideas about images, other than perhaps working with the spirit house, maybe the roof line or whatever, but they all, it's the color and textures that finally bring it all together. It's not any specific image that I start with.
But your colors meld together so beautifully. They're all within a palette of great warmth, a little bit of blue used and the gold. Where did you get your training with color, or where did you get your flair with color, because it's magnificent?
Well, I think I've just always been interested in color and rich color and pastels. I've done pastels, but they don't excite me like the paint right out of the tube or right out of the jar is what I use quite often, as opposed to mixing my colors.
You also have a lot of layers in your painting. What are you trying to achieve with that?
The layers I've always been interested in layering, no matter what it is, whether it's clothing or painting or whatever, but I think a painting that's done on top of another painting, for me, is quite often more successful than the painting I started with. If I have a painting in my studio that's sitting around for a long time, I quite often change it totally. And you know, that layering is what gives the richness.
So you can create something completely new from something that started out to be something else.
Exactly. And I've not only with color, but I cut things out. If I see something that well, I don't know, just not that something I don't like, but if it's quite often cut a piece of canvas out, mend it with string, and then patch it up again with more canvas on the back. And that's been and the leaves, ladders, and patchwork and exotic sort of whatever makes the colors that go together the best, that produce the most exotic feeling for me, is what I'm most interested in.
We were talking about the spirits and the spirit houses, the necessity to make it exotic in order to attract a spirit, because spirits just don't like your plain old ordinary stuff.
Well, this is the way I read into it. Now, I might be totally wrong, but I understand the spirits come from the ground, and they're going to be attracted by something more beautiful than the ordinary. And the Thais want to scare the evil spirits away, so they put these on the rooftops of these spirit houses. They have these spiky things that look like they're not attractive, so they're going to scare the evil spirits away, right? And they're going to encourage the good spirits, which are going to be, I guess, attracted as anybody else is to the exotic colors and the food and whatever they leave, you know, citrus fruit or whatever it happens to be for these spirits.
Well, they're beautiful, they're large, very colorful, and very exotic. So you've accomplished all those things in your paintings as well. Thank you very much, Pat.
That was great. Thank you.